Hi, if you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Moi, and this is my little corner where I share my perspective and experiences living and working in the EU. So don't forget to share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, as that will guarantee that you keep seeing all the information and all the good stuff that I dish out from this channel. As you can already see from the title, I decided to touch base with a very basic and essential component of living anywhere in the world, which is housing, obviously. And for the purpose of this video, I will be focusing on renting. So, backstory. I have lived in Nigeria for most part of my life until I moved here in 2022. So basically, I will be comparing the renting conditions in both localities, and I will starting off with some differences that I have personally experienced. Difference number one: monthly payments on the European side and yearly or annual payments on the Nigerian side. And trust me, this might seem, like regular information, but it hits differently when you have to experience both sides of the coin. I mean, in Nigeria, you could also pay up to 2 years in advance when you're renting for the first time. But that's not the case here. So that was a huge difference. Difference number two: semi or fully furnished apartments or houses on the European side, and of course, unfurnished apartments on the Nigerian side. And get this, I've been on both sides of the coin. And sometimes the Nigerian apartment might need renovations. You need to renovate the apartment or fix it up to your standard after paying the annual or sometimes even 2 years rent. So this is another difference that's worthy of note. And I think the EU side is gaining points on this one. Difference number three: the lease contract on the European side has a definite expiration date or a tenure, while on the Nigerian side, it doesn't necessarily have an expiration date. So let me explain this. On the European side, you have to sign like a long-term lease for a year, 2 years, or 3 years, depending on the country you're renting from. And what that means is that at the end of that tenure, you are supposed to move out of that apartment. And if you intend to extend your lease, you would have to, give a notice period, which is usually stated in uh, the rental or the lease agreement. On the Nigerian side, it doesn't necessarily say you have to move out of the apartment at the end of your lease because it doesn't really have an end. All you need to do is to keep, paying your annual rent when it's due, and when you're ready to leave, you could also give the landlord some notice. So that's a huge difference. Difference number four: small to moderately sized apartments on the EU side and mostly very spacious apartments on the Nigerian side. Well, I would say this one, it didn't come as a shock because obviously I did my research, but it's something that we've had to adjust to over the last year. So it is what it is. So number five, this is not exactly about renting. I'll call this a bonus point, but since it's something, it's a difference that I'm still or we have had to adjust to. I decided to put it out there. Open plan living, dining, and kitchen area on the European side, and separate kitchen living and dining area on the Nigerian side. Well, like I said, it's not exactly about renting, but it is a difference that we have had to, adjust to. But so far, so good. I think it's fine. So, what are my takes in all of this? Number one, it is a lot more expensive to rent in the EU than most cities in Nigeria, and that is a given. But however, I think it is due to a lot of factors that I will not be getting to in this video, but you should look out for it. Two, paying monthly rent, in my opinion, is more practical than paying rent annually. I mean, since your earnings are received and calculated on a monthly basis, it only makes sense that you take out or you sort out your living expenses or your housing expenses on a monthly basis. I mean, it only makes sense. And this will also guarantee that you are renting or living in a place that you can actually afford, which I cannot say is the case with the other option in Nigeria. And I will not be getting into details in this video. Take number three. I would say finding and renting a suitable apartment is a very tedious task, and this goes both ways. I mean, there's no winner here. But also, I would say it's based on two determining factors, which obviously would be the availability of, suitable rental apartments in at the time you want it, and number two, your budget. So these two factors play a key role both ways. There's no winner here. And finally, I should say that I love the idea of moving into a fully furnished rental apartment. Trust me, it's bliss. I mean, it's like moving into a long-term Airbnb. And I think this is where the EU side really gets me because, you don't have to bother about, acquiring bulky, household appliances unless you're ready to, buy, like invest in a property for real. So as long as you're still renting, you can still move in, it's easy, and everything you need is already provided, and you just go ahead and pay your monthly rent. So guys, I think I've come to the end of this episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe please. It would really help my channel grow, and also turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any content and when I post videos like this. And if you have any questions, any specific questions you would like me to answer, please leave them in the comment section and I would oblige. So until I come your way again in my next video, do have an amazing day. Bye.